All right, so here's our second set of notes for the week. This one's titled Pricing. Okay, so our EQ, how are supply and demand curves applied to real business models? So we're going to look at how we use the supply and demand functions to establish pricing for in business models. Okay, so your little warm up here. What happens when the supply of a product is higher than the demand for that product? Okay, so I want you to either look back at your previous notes or think back to your previous notes. And when you have your supply and your demand curves connecting, what happens when the supply is higher than the quantity for demand? All right, and then what happens when the opposite is true? So what happens when demand is higher than supply? So go ahead and pause, answer it, and then I'll go over the answer after you pause and come back. Okay, so all right, so hopefully you're back. Hopefully you tried this already. If not, pause it and try it. Okay, so we're going to go through two situations, the first one and then the second one. So both of these, the x-axis is the price and the y-axis is the quantity. Okay, and then remember, as which one goes down? So as the price gets higher, less are going to happen. So that should be your demand. Boy, that's supposed to be a D. Okay, so your demand, the more something costs, the less people will want to buy it. All right, and so then that means the positive one, the one that goes up, that's supply. Because the more something costs, the more the suppliers want to supply of it. Okay, so this first one is asking when the supply is higher than the demand. So that's over here, right? Because the supply graph is higher than the demand, right? The supply is higher than the demand. So in this situation, more product would be supplied than consumers would want to buy, right? So the company would lose money because they have leftover items, right? Because they have leftovers. Can't think of a better word for leftovers right now. So if you think about it, you should totally message me on Remind and tell me what's better than saying leftovers. Okay, so they have leftover product. They have too much. Oh, I wanted the word surplus. They have too much, right? Okay, so they have too much product, and so then they're losing money because they spent money to make that stuff, right? And then they're not getting money from people buying it. Okay. And then number two, so over here we'll do number two. Again, this is the price. This is the quantity. The graph going up is my supply graph, and the graph going down is my demand graph. All right, and so then number two says what happens when the opposite is true. So that would be when demand is higher than supply. Right? See over here, this is the demand graph and it's above the supply graph. So it has a higher quantity than the demand does. And so here, businesses are losing, they're losing potential revenue, right? They're losing potential money because they could have supplied more and people would have bought it, right? Because at this price, lots of people wanted to buy it, but there was not a lot available. Okay, so they could have made more money because more people wanted to buy it. Okay, so they lose, I guess I could put lose potential money. Uh-oh, here comes my dog. Okay, so they're losing potential money because more people wanted to buy it than what the quantity of items they had supplied. Okay, neither one of these are good things for a business, right? Either way, they're either like legit negative, losing money, or they could have made more money. So remember, that place that they want to be is right where the supply and demand intersect, and that is called equilibrium. Okay, so here's our vocab. I'm going to read them and then go ahead and pause to write it down. So I'm going to go backwards because they kind of make sense backwards, but they're just written alphabetically. So wholesale price. Wholesale price is the price that manufacturers charge retailers for a product. Okay, so think a pair of pants. Okay, so like a company makes the pair of pants, right? And then that company or factory or whatever, they sell them to the store that we go buy them at, right? So the factory or company, whatever, sells those to, say, Target, and then Target turns around and sells them to us, right? So it's not like Target is making pants in the background, right? So Target buys pants from, say, Levi's or whatever, and then Target will then sell them to us, the consumers. So the wholesale price, this is the price that the manufacturers, the people that are actually making the product, charge the retailers. Okay, so retail, that's like a normal store, Target, Walmart, wherever, for a product. Okay, so then retail price is the price that the retailers sell the product to the public. Okay, so wholesale would be like what Target buys it for from somebody else, and then retail is what like Target sells it to us for, the price. Okay, and then markup is the amount that a retailer increases the wholesale price. So Target can't go buy jeans for 20 bucks and then sell them for 20 bucks, right? Target wouldn't make any money. So Target buys them from the company for like 10 bucks, and then they jack up the price another 10 bucks, right, to sell it to us for 20. So that difference, that price that they're going to make, their profit, that's the markup. Okay? So I'm going to move to the next slide. All right. So what's the difference between wholesale and retail? So we're going to look here. This is our little problem, and we're going to answer each of these guys. Okay? So it says an insulated thermos is sold to the stores at a price of $9, and then a popular store sells them for $15. Okay? So number one, what is the wholesale price? So the original cost of the item. So the wholesale price would be $9. All right, so that's how much it was sold to the stores for. Then the retail price is how much the store turned around and sold it for. So the retail price is the $15. Okay, what is the store's markup? So it's the difference in price, right? Because they get to, they want to make money on it. So markup is taking the retail price and subtracting the wholesale price. So our retail was 15. Oh, that's a 5. Okay, so the retail was 15 minus the wholesale, which was 9. And so 15 minus 9 is 6, right? So the store's markup is $6. And then, okay, there's this thing called percent markup. So you take, percent markup is taking the markup divided by the wholesale. My way of remembering this, my lovely human beings, I would have taught you this if we were in school. I make a butterfly. You guys see my little butterfly right there, right? So M for markup, W for wholesale. So if you make a little butterfly, that'll help you remember like what to divide by what. Can't make a butterfly with R, right? R over W would not be a good butterfly. So M over W gets us our butterfly. So our markup was $6 divided by our wholesale, which was $9. So 6 divided by 9 gives us 0.666666, and it would end at 7. So then we've like drilled percentages to like crazy, right? So we move our decimal over 2 places. And so the store marked the thermos up 67%. Okay, so it's because it would be 66.6, and so we're going to round that up to the nearest whole percent. So 6 rounded up to 7. Okay, so that's how we look at wholesale, retail, markup, and then percent markup. Okay. All right, so last slide. Lots of writing, okay, but we're gonna you just pause at the end and make sure you write it all down. Okay, so here we go. How do I determine values on a supply and demand graph? The graph to the right shows the supply and demand curves of a pack of gum. Okay, so we have a pack of gum here, and here's the supplier's graph, here's the demand graph, and these are different prices. So at 98 cents, we got an X and a Y over here, and then we got $1.12. And so we're going to look at all the different things. So like I said, if you wait till the end, we're going to put some markings on the graph and stuff like that for you. Okay, so here are the questions we're going to look at for the graph. Number 1, it says, what is the equilibrium price? So equilibrium, remember, is where the graphs actually intersect. Okay, so they intersect right there. All right, and then that price is $1.12. So you would say the equilibrium price is $1.12. Okay. Number 2, this is like our warm-up, right? What will happen if the price is set at 98 cents? So at 98 cents, blue, goes with the blue writing, got it? At 98 cents, the demand is higher than the supply, right? The demand crosses up here at Y, and the supply is down here at X. And so the demand will be higher than the supply, so there will not be enough gum to sell to all of the people demanding it, right? So they'll run out. They could have made more money. Okay. Number 3, how many packs are demanded and supplied at a price of 98 cents? So this one, when you see how many, oops, where's my little thing? When you see how many, that is your quantity, okay? So at 98 cents, there are Y packs demanded, okay? Notice the green corresponds with the green. This green dot is on the demand curve, and it's a Y number. So it's okay to not use numbers. Sometimes there will be numbers there. Sometimes there'll be letters. It's all good, okay? So at 98 cents, Y packs are demanded and X are supplied, because the X value, that's where at 98 cents on the supply graph, that's the Y value, okay? And then here, what will happen if the price is set at 122? So 122 is more than equilibrium, right? And so, that so you can see. If the price is set at $1.22, then the supply will be higher than the demand, and there will be more gum than what people want to buy. And then again, the company would lose money because they supplied too much, and they spent money making that product and then didn't sell it. So they didn't make any money off of it. Okay, so go ahead and pause to write all that shenanigans. Maybe find some colors to color coordinate with your graph. That'd be cool. Yeah, and then that's the end. Okay, so you have a worksheet. Please try it. Please ask questions when you run into questions, and make sure you use your notes first when doing that. Okay, and then yeah, hopefully you have a good rest of your week. And again, we only have, after this week, we only have 2 more weeks. Okay, 1 week of notes and then 1 week with a project, and then that's it, guys. That's school. So keep working, keep pushing through. And hopefully I'll see some of you guys on Zoom. I miss your faces. Bye.